Hi, welcome to Tonehill Studio. My name is Erkka Korhonen, and on this video, I'm gonna show you my top 5 Pro Tools stock plugins. We're talking about the plugins that come with Pro Tools when you have a subscription, you buy the software. So these are the ones that get most use on my project and my mixes. The first one that I want to talk about is a plugin called Lo-Fi. You can find it on the Harmonic folder, and it's very simple, very straightforward, not that many parameters. Can be easily just adjusted very quickly. And I know that there are a lot better and more versatile saturators or distortion generators on the market, but this one works for me brilliantly. I use it on drums, mostly on the top skin of the snare, the bottom skin of the snare, on the toms, on the hi-hat, and on the ride. Then it occasionally gets used on my bass master track, sometimes on organ, sometimes on vocals. So it's very versatile. I really, really like it. It's easy to use. Actually, I'm so used to it that I don't even use it as a plugin on the insert anymore. I just print. I have settings for all these instruments. I just print them onto the tracks. I'm so secure with it. The second one on the list is the SansAmp PSA-1. This is like the plug-in version of the rack mount SansAmp preamp. Great on bass. I use it on DI bass to warm things up. Sometimes things might get a bit too big sound-wise, but most of the time it works really nicely. And also, if I don't have a distortion track or an amp track for bass, there is a preset called baritone there that is beautiful, especially for lower gain bass. Basically, distortion that doesn't really sound like distortion. Try it out. And also organ, really nice on organ, and really good vocal distortion generator. Since you have 5 different distortion parameters on this one, you can actually get really, really good vocal distortions going on with this one. The third and the fourth one are the Focusrite D2 and D3. The EQ of these two, which I recall is the D2, is very useful. I like to use it on toms. Sometimes I use it on vocals, sometimes on piano, and sometimes on snare drum. I know that those curves could be replicated with something such as the FabFilter Pro Q4, which I also use a lot. But this is something that I'm used to. Those curves are really familiar for me. I can really quickly get a good sound going with these ones. So lots of use for that one. So I always, reach out for these ones when I'm working with toms. And also the compressor of the same family, the red one, it's always on my snare top. Lengthening the ring of the skin with very, very long attack time, so it doesn't really squash the snare. I take out maybe 2-3 decibels with it. And then if I'm not using samples on the toms, then I use these on each tom to just strengthen out the sound. I do a lot of sample use on toms, but whenever I go for the really natural sound, for example, like a live mix of a concert, I don't want to use samples on those ones, then I use this compressor to make things sound better. The last one of the top 5 is the D3 Expander Gate plugin. Okay, it's just a gate, but it's very nicely featured. I love the sidechaining options and the other features as well. I use it on pretty much every mix. I use it on the snare bottom skin. I never gate more than 40 decibels. If I gate the top skin or the kick drum, I use usually this as well, as the first option at least. On most of my productions, I trigger the kick drum and the snare top with the drummer's own drums. I record the drum separately, create a sample, and off we go. But on the snare bottom skin, this works really nicely. And also when I'm recording drums, I use this on the toms, taking away maybe 20 decibels just to even things out and make things a bit more clear in the listening environment. Then it's time for the honorary mentions. The first one would be Smack. Very, very cool compressor. I use it on the room mics when I don't want to distort the room mics. there are a lot of distortion modes there as well. So basically, you can smash stuff if you want. Somebody sometimes compared it to the distressor. So that's how versatile it is. Another one that gets a mention is the Mod Delay 3. Very nice delay plugin. I use it on pretty much every mix that I do to create like a room type slapback effect with 109 and 111 milliseconds. It's a stereo slap. Lots of other features there as well. I like the groove feature. And if I'm recording, for example, lead guitar and I'm in the DSP mode on Pro Tools, that is a delay that works really nicely on those situations. Another delay, if you really want to go into the country and rockabilly things, is the real tape delay. Lots of character there, really cool sound. Highly recommended. And the last one of the mentions here is the orange phaser from the pedals. That's really cool on different keyboards. I like it on Rhodes piano, Wurlitzer piano, and then it's great on synth bass. So check it out and try it for yourself. So that's my favorite Pro Tools plugins, top 5 and honorary mentions. Try to check them out. And in the future, I'll be posting mixing videos in which I show in detail how to use these things. If you have any wishes, just drop a comment and ask me for a certain plugin if you want to see how I use it. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel, stick around. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.